I'm with Ragan Corliss, and she is a designer who has a firm belief in accent walls, and there's a good reason for that. And what are those reasons?
Well, the thing I love about accent walls is it gives you the opportunity to really show your personality in a room, and you can even go a little bit wild if you want to.
You can, and there are a lot of ways to achieve that accent, that focal point.
Yes. Like the simplest form of accent wall is a bright paint color. A lot of people are afraid of bright paint colors. All their walls in their house will be white just because they're so afraid to paint. But if you do just one wall, one color, bright color, it just makes a huge difference.
And it's only paint.
Yes. And if you don't like it, you just cover it up.
Exactly, exactly. Now, we're going to talk about creating a focal point on an accent wall with stencils.
Yes. This is like a gigantic dandelion. And the neat thing about it is that you can repeat it. You can change the color of it. It has the little blow away wisping off it. And the other neat thing you can do with it is layer it on other stencils, like all over interlocking stencils that create a pattern on the wall. You can do that first and then take the dandelion and put that on the surface of it.
Nice.
Or you can do a stripe from floor to ceiling and just put the dandelion shape in the stripe.
And all of these examples are on the website?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's go look at something in person.
Okay.
So here we are, Ragan, with a wall that you have done yourself with this stencil.
Yes.
This looks pretty simple. Okay, so we've sprayed it with a spray adhesive, right?
Yes. And you let it sit for just about 3 minutes because that way it doesn't get too sticky, but you want it just a little bit sticky.
Just a little tacky so that it will stick to the wall?
Yes.
Okay, let's try it.
And then other important tools of the trade are using a really good foam roller, and these smaller ones are better. In fact, this stencil company supplies these foam rollers. The other thing that's important is having a good brush. This is a stenciling brush, which I didn't necessarily need to use on this design, but these really come in handy for the much more intricate designs. And then the other thing, handy wipes.
Handy wipes.
You want to have a handy wipe because it's really quick and easy cleanup.
All right. And you also have a little level on this?
Yes. These levels are really great. They just attach to the bottom of the stencil, and that way when you go to line it up, it'll help you keep it level. So the key is just to take your time, and if it starts to get too covered in paint, it's a good time to take a break. Let it dry and you can just scrape it off. And the website for this company, they also have how-to videos, really good how-to videos, which are really important to watch. And it only takes about 2-3 minutes to watch it. And they also have a how-to video on cleaning these up. And they're actually pretty easy to clean, but the key is to do it right. Okay, the stencil's now secured, so the next thing to do is roll your paintbrush in the paint. And it's really important that you don't get too much paint on your brush. In fact, what the manufacturer recommends we do is just kind of blot it on a paper towel.
Okay, so you're not totally soaking the roller. Okay.
Yeah, and that helps to keep it from bleeding. And then you just simply roll it on. And
how do you keep it from getting underneath the stencil?
Well, you roll carefully.
Yeah.
And you don't push it. You don't want to push down too far.
And that's also the beauty of using a roller, so that you're not getting globs like you might with a paintbrush.
Exactly. And a nice foam roller too. There's other rollers that are bushier. You don't want to use that kind because then it would push the paint.
Okay.
Oftentimes you'll have to do more than one coat. So all you do is simply put the first coat on, and you need to get it on all the way first. And then you don't have to wait until it dries, just a minute or two.
And put your second coat on.
Yeah. And the other thing too, on shapes like this where they're interlocking, you know, it's okay if it's not absolutely perfect.
Right.
Like if you really looked at this wall, you'd see all the distances aren't absolutely perfect, but it doesn't bother me, and I don't think most people would notice it.
Right. And you know what? You did it yourself. And that's kind of the beauty of it as well.
Exactly.
Right.
It makes you proud.
Exactly.
You just sit back and admire your work. And
so these are the half shapes.
Yes.
That help you once you get to the end of the wall, the bottom of the wall, the top towards the ceiling.
Yes. So see this here, I had to bend it in order to paint that shape. And same with on the side. I had to use the big one on the side here, but I just bent the stencil kind of like this and then did the painting.
So it matches up perfectly. You just got to work with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you might have to deal with a shape like this. This I had to use because it left these holes here. And so then I'd go back and then just paint in the holes. So I took pictures of this as I was doing it, and I'll post pictures on the blog as well.
Okay. Okay, so Ragan has the second coat of paint on. Now what?
Well, you don't have to wait long. In fact, you can pull it off right away. So
Really?
shall we take a look?
Let's see what it looks like. Amazing.
that's it.
Really is amazing. I love it. And then that washes up so easily, you can even just wipe it off with a baby wipe, right?
Yes.
And use it again for your...
Yeah, because you want to see when you put this up again. So if you wipe it while it's still wet and on the wall, you'll be able to see when you match it up to the next.
Right, you
fitting.
need to be able to see how far it is.
Yeah.
Well, that seems so easy, Ragan. And you're going to have the information on your blog.
Yes.
About the stencils. We'll have it on fusionnw.com. And of course, the stencil company is cuttingedgestencils.com. So easy. Thanks, Ragan.
Sure, you bet.